Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. You're standing in the heart of a chaotic storm. Voices shout, phones buzz, and someone's just flung a barbed comment your way, sharp enough to sting. Your heart races, your palms sweat, and anger bubbles like lava in your chest. But instead of erupting, you pause. You take a slow, deep breath and a wave of calm washes over you. The noise fades, the sting softens, and you stand there, steady, grounded, untouched. It's as if you're a lighthouse, unmoved by the wildest waves, radiating peace while the world rages on. This isn't a dream. It's the power of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that's been a lifeline for emperors, poets, and ordinary folks navigating life's messiness. In our fast-paced, trigger-happy world, where stress lurks around every corner and disrespect can spark in a heartbeat, Stoicism offers a blueprint to reclaim your inner peace. It's not about numbing your emotions or pretending everything's fine. It's about choosing how you respond, building a fortress of calm that no one, no matter how rude or reckless, can breach. Today, I'm inviting you on a journey through 7 Stoic secrets, practical, battle-tested tools to help you stay cool, collected, and in control, even when life throws its worst at you. These aren't lofty theories. They're hands-on strategies, forged in the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, and proven by countless lives, including mine. Each secret is a step toward a life where you're the master of your mind, not a slave to your reactions. So find a comfy spot, maybe grab a notebook, and let's dive into this adventure together. By the end, you'll have a toolkit to face any storm with a quiet smile and a heart full of serenity. Dance with life's rhythm. Embrace what comes. Picture yourself in a crowded grocery store, the line snaking endlessly and the cashier moving at a glacial pace. Your to-do list is screaming, your phone's pinging, and the guy behind you is sighing loud enough to wake a coma patient. Frustration claws at you, urging you to snap. Now imagine a shift. You close your eyes, exhale, and think, this is where I am right now. I choose to be here. You notice the hum of the store, the weight of your cart, the chance to just be. The line hasn't budged, but you're no longer at war with it. You're free. This is Stoicism's first secret. Embrace life's flow, willingly. Marcus Aurelius, who juggled an empire and endless betrayals, wrote, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together." It's not about grinning through every annoyance. Nobody's thrilled about long lines or broken plans. It's about meeting reality with open arms, refusing to waste energy fighting what's already here. Resistance breeds misery. Acceptance breeds peace. I learned this lesson on a rainy Monday, stuck in a traffic jam that felt like a personal attack. I'd been fuming, gripping the wheel, muttering about my ruined schedule. Then, inspired by Stoic wisdom, I tried something radical. I said, this is my moment, I'm here. I popped on a favorite song, reflected on my week, even jotted down a gratitude list on my phone. The traffic didn't vanish, but my anger did. What was once a prison became a pause, a chance to reset. This mindset transforms the mundane into the meaningful. Think about washing dishes, a chore most of us dread. If you resent it, every plate feels like a punishment. But if you say, this is part of my home, my care, my life, it becomes a meditation. You feel the warm water, hear the clink of glass, and find rhythm in the task. It's not about the dishes, it's about choosing your response. Here's how to start. Next time you're hit with a frustration, A delayed flight, a rude email, a spilled coffee. Pause and whisper, I accept this moment. Then find one small way to make it yours. Listen to music, plan your day, or simply breathe deeply. This isn't passive, it's powerful. It's saying, I'm bigger than this inconvenience. Epictetus put it perfectly. Don't ask for things to happen as you wish. Wish for things to happen as they do, and your life will flow well. But it goes deeper. Embracing life's flow connects to your bigger purpose. That annoying task, filing reports, scrubbing floors, becomes voluntary when you see it as part of your path. Maybe it's supporting your family, honing your discipline, or just showing up for yourself. Frame it as I choose this instead of I have to, and watch the weight lift. I once met a barista who radiated joy while juggling a hectic shift. When I asked her secret, she grinned. I decided this job is my stage. Every coffee's a performance. That's Stoic wisdom in action, turning duty into devotion. Practice this daily. Start with small moments. A traffic light, a long email chain. Say, this is mine to embrace. Over time, you'll find even life's toughest blows, heartbreak, loss, failure, lose their power to shake you. You're not just surviving, you're dancing with life's rhythm step by graceful step. 2. Lay down the judge's robe. Stop labeling others. Ever notice how quick we are to play judge and jury? That driver's an idiot. This coworker's lazy. That stranger's so rude. It's like we're handing out verdicts from a mental courtroom, each one tightening a knot of anger in our gut. But here's the Stoic revelation. Those judgments aren't chaining the other person. They're chaining you. Every time you label someone, you're letting their actions rent space in your head, stealing your peace. Stoicism's second secret is to drop the gavel. Marcus Aurelius, who dealt with scheming senators and disloyal friends, wrote, "You always have the option of having no opinion." It's a radical idea. You don't have to decide if someone's good, bad, or anything else. You can just let them be. This isn't about ignoring bad behavior or pretending everyone's perfect. It's about refusing to let their flaws hijack your calm. The loud neighbor, maybe they're stressed. The curt cashier, maybe they're grieving. You don't know their story, and you don't need to. Your job is to protect your peace, not to solve their soul. I had a wake-up call with this one. I used to work with a guy, let's call him Dave, who drove me nuts. He'd interrupt, hog credit, and leave early, and I'd stew, thinking, he's such a selfish jerk. My resentment was like a low-grade fever, always simmering. Then I read, Epictetus, what need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears. It hit me. My judgments about Dave weren't changing him, they were poisoning me. So I tried a Stoic experiment. I stopped labeling him. Instead of jerk, I thought, he's human, doing what humans do. I noticed his stress, his late-night emails, his attempts to fit in. My anger didn't vanish, but it softened. I wasn't excusing him, I was freeing myself. Here's a story to drive it home. My friend Sarah once got into a spat with a barista who snapped at her for no reason. She was ready to fire back, but instead she paused and thought, maybe she's having a rough day. She smiled, tipped generously, and left. Later, she overheard the barista apologize to a coworker, mentioning a family crisis. Sarah's choice to withhold judgment didn't just save her peace, it opened a door to compassion. Try this. Next time you catch yourself judging, that guy's so annoying, stop and ask, do I know their story? Is this thought helping me? Then shift to curiosity. What might be going on for them? If they're wrong, does getting mad fix it? Journal these moments to track your progress. One exercise I love is the no opinion challenge. For 1 hour, refuse to form any judgments about anyone. Notice how light you feel. Over time, you'll see people not as enemies but as fellow travelers stumbling through life just like you. That's not weakness, it's wisdom. This practice also sharpens your self-awareness. Judging others often mirrors how we judge ourselves. When I was harsh on Dave, I realized I was harsh on my own mistakes too. Letting go of external judgments softened my inner critic, creating space for growth. Stoicism isn't just about others, it's about rewriting your relationship with yourself. Loosen your grip. Let go of what you can't control. Life's like a river, wild and unpredictable, and we're all paddling tiny kayaks, trying to steer through currents we didn't choose. We clutch at control, other people's opinions, the weather, that infuriating email that won't send. But the harder we grip, the more we flail. Stoicism's third secret is a lifeboat. Focus only on what you can control, your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, and let the rest flow. Epictetus, a former slave who found freedom in philosophy, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." You can't make your boss appreciate you, stop a storm, or force an apology. But you can choose how you respond, and that choice is your superpower. It's like rowing down that river. You can't stop the rapids, but you can steer with grace, finding calm amid the chaos. I learned this during a nightmare travel day. My flight was canceled, stranding me in a packed airport with no clear answers. I was livid, snapping at staff, pacing like a caged animal. Then I remembered a Stoic tool, premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of evils. It's about imagining worst-case scenarios to prepare your mind. Before trips, I'd started picturing delays, lost bags, rude agents, not to stress myself out, but to be ready. So I took a breath, found a quiet corner, and reframed the day. This is my chance to practice patience. I read a book, called a friend, even napped on a bench. The situation didn't change, but I did. I wasn't a victim, I was a Stoic. This mindset saved me again during a work crisis. A client pulled out of a deal and my team was in chaos, blaming everyone. I could have joined the frenzy, but instead, I listed what I could control: my effort, my communication, my next steps. I let go of the client's decision. It was their river, not mine. By focusing on my paddle, I stayed steady and even earned respect for my calm. Here's how to practice. Grab a notebook and draw 2 columns. What I can control and what I can't. List what's stressing you, maybe a rude coworker, a looming deadline, a rainy forecast. For the can't column, practice letting go. If someone's snappy, you can't change their mood, but you can stay kind. If a project stalls, you can't force progress, but you can plan your next move. Try premeditatio malorum before a big day. Picture delays, mistakes, or conflicts, and decide how you'll respond calmly. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. One story that inspires me is about Seneca, who faced exile and betrayal, yet stayed serene. He wrote, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." When I'm tempted to control the uncontrollable, I think of him, steering his mind through life's storms. Letting go isn't surrender, it's strategy, giving you space to breathe, adapt, and thrive. Love the flaws. Embrace life's imperfection. Why do we expect life to be a polished movie? We want people to be punctual, plans to run smoothly, and every day to sparkle. When a friend forgets a promise, a coworker botches a task, or a stranger cuts us off, we're shocked, as if the universe owes us perfection. Stoicism's fourth secret flips the script. Imperfection isn't a betrayal, it's the heartbeat of life. Epictetus taught, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." When your boss snaps or your plans collapse, it's not the event that hurts, it's your expectation of flawlessness. Stoics train themselves to expect the chaos, delays, errors, even disloyalty. Marcus Aurelius started his mornings with a reality check. I will meet with interference, ingratitude, disloyalty, and I will carry on. Not to wallow, but to be ready, like a soldier donning armor. I used to take imperfections personally. If a friend bailed or a colleague missed a deadline, I'd spiral, thinking, how could they do this to me? It was exhausting. Then I tried a Stoic lens. Everyone's human, just like me. I remembered my own slip-ups, forgotten texts, rushed work, and realized I'd want grace too. When a coworker flubbed a presentation, I stopped fuming and asked, am I mad at her or at my own expectations? I saw her effort, her stress, and offered help instead of judgment. It didn't fix the mistake, but it fixed my heart. A friend of mine, Lisa, lived this beautifully. Her neighbor was notorious for loud parties driving her nuts. She'd rant, why can't they be normal? One day, inspired by Stoicism, she shifted. She thought, they're human, celebrating life. I've been loud too. Instead of banging on their door, she dropped off a note offering her number for future noise concerns. The parties quieted and they became friends. Embracing imperfection didn't just save her sanity, it built a bridge. Try this. When someone messes up, pause and think, they're human, like me. Ask, am I reacting to the act or to my expectation of perfection? Then extend the grace you'd want. For a week, start your day like Marcus. I'll meet forgetfulness, mistakes, maybe rudeness, and I'll stay steady. Journal how it feels. This isn't about lowering standards, it's about raising resilience. Life's flaws aren't obstacles. They're the raw material of growth. This practice also heals your self-view. When you accept others' imperfections, you're gentler with your own. I used to beat myself up for small errors, until I realized I was holding myself to the same impossible standard I'd dropped for others. Stoicism taught me to love the mess in others and myself, creating space for compassion and progress. 5. Guard your inner castle. Own your emotions. Here's a truth that can change everything. No one can make you angry. That cutting remark, that unfair critique, it's just noise in the air. The fire in your gut, the urge to snap back, that's yours and yours alone. Stoicism's 5th secret is to take full responsibility for your emotions. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's also a golden key. You're not a victim of others' actions. You're the gatekeeper of your inner world. Think about a time you lost it. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic and you leaned on the horn cursing their existence. Your anger felt justified, automatic. But what if you'd paused and thought, their driving is their problem. My peace is mine. The rage would have faded, like clouds parting for the sun. Epictetus said, no one can harm you unless you let them. Your emotions are your domain, and you hold the power to lock or unlock the gate. I faced this test at a family gathering. My cousin, always quick with a jab, mocked my career path. Still chasing dreams, huh? I felt the heat rising, ready to fire back. But I remembered a Stoic practice. Reflect before reacting. I stepped away, took a breath, and asked, "Why? Does this sting?" I realized his comment hit an old insecurity. The problem wasn't his words, it was my lens. By owning that, I returned to the table calm, even cracking a joke. I didn't change him, I changed me. Another story. My colleague, Tom, used to rant about a rude client who made him furious. One day I shared a Stoic idea. You choose your reaction. He tried it, pausing when the client snapped, thinking, "This is on them, not me." He responded calmly, and the client softened. Tom said it felt like magic, but it was just ownership, guarding his inner castle. Here's how to build this muscle. When you feel triggered, pause and ask, "Who's in charge here? Me or them?" Write down the trigger, your reaction, and a calmer alternative. For example, trigger, coworker's snarky email. Reaction, typed an angry reply. Alternative, took a walk, then responded professionally. Do this daily for a week and watch your control grow. Another trick. Visualize your emotions as a castle gate. When anger knocks, you decide whether to open it. With practice, you'll keep it locked, letting only peace inside. This isn't about suppressing feelings, it's about directing them. Owning your emotions doesn't mean you never get mad, it means you choose when and how to act. It's like being the conductor of your own orchestra, turning chaos into harmony. You're not at the mercy of the world, you're its master. Wield the power of pause. Non-reaction is your strength. Imagine you're in a heated debate. A colleague throws a low blow, sneering, "Your idea's a waste of time." The room freezes eyes on you. Your instinct screams to clap back to defend your pride, but instead you take a slow sip of water, let a beat pass and say, "Thanks for the feedback, I'll think it over." The tension dissolves, the sneer loses its sting, and you walk away untouched. That's Stoicism's sixth secret, the art of non-reaction. Seneca, who navigated the treacherous courts of Rome, said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay. A single pause, a breath, a moment, hands you the reins." It's not about bottling up your feelings. It's about choosing your move with clarity. Silence isn't surrender, it's sovereignty. It says, "I'm above this." Most conflicts fizzle when you refuse to feed them. I saw this magic with a mentor, Clara, during a tense boardroom clash. A rival insulted her strategy, fishing for a fight. Clara just smiled, nodded, and asked a calm question. "Can you clarify your concern?" The rival stammered. The room moved on, and Clara's poise won the day. Later, she told me, "A pause is my shield. It keeps me in control." Her calm wasn't weakness. It was a masterclass in strength. I tried this myself at a family reunion. My uncle, a champion button pusher, made a snide remark about my lifestyle. My reflex was to argue, but I remembered Seneca. I counted to 5, sipped my drink, and said nothing. The moment passed and I felt a rush, not of anger, but of power. By not reacting, I'd kept my peace intact. Here's how to practice. Next time someone provokes you, don't bite. Take a deep breath, count to 10, and observe. Notice their tone, your heartbeat, the urge to snap. Ask, "Does this deserve my energy?" 9 times out of 10, it doesn't. Try the pause challenge. For one day, pause before responding to any irritation, even small ones like a slow barista. Journal the results. Did the pause change the outcome? Another trick, visualize. A river between you and the provocation. Let their words float by, not touch you. Non-reaction works in big moments too. A friend of mine facing a toxic boss used this to survive. When her boss ranted, she'd pause, nod, and focus on her breath. It didn't fix the boss, but it saved her sanity, giving her clarity to plan her exit. In a world that thrives on knee-jerk reactions, your pause is a rebellion, a quiet, powerful stand for peace. Light the world with kindness. Selflessness sets you free. Picture a tense Thanksgiving dinner. Your aunt's griping about politics, poking at everyone's nerves. The table's a powder keg ready to explode. You could jump in, match her fire with fire, or you could do something radical. Offer a kind word. "I appreciate how passionate you are," you say, smiling. "Tell me more about why this matters to you." The air shifts, her edge softens, and the meal turns warm. You've just turned a spark into light. That's Stoicism's final secret. Kindness heals. Marcus Aurelius, who faced enemies and allies alike, began each day with a vow. Life is a privilege, to think, to love, to serve. Anger is a heavy chain, but kindness cuts it. Forgiving a slight, helping someone who's hurt you, or listening with patience, it's not for them. It's for you, freeing your soul from resentment's grip. Seneca said, "Wherever there's a human being, there's a chance for kindness." Every interaction is a canvas. Paint it with grace. I learned this during a feud with a friend, Jake, who'd betrayed my trust. I was furious, ready to write him off. But Stoicism nudged me to try kindness instead. I invited him for a walk, listened to his side, and shared my hurt without blame. It was hard, but it worked. We didn't just patch things up. I felt lighter, like I'd shed a grudge's weight. Kindness wasn't weakness. It was liberation. Another story. My neighbor Maria dealt with a rude tenant who'd trash-talk her to others. Instead of retaliating, she dropped off a homemade pie saying, "I thought you might like this." The tenant was stunned, and their dynamic softened. Maria later said, "I didn't do it for him, I did it to keep my heart clean." That's Stoic selflessness, lifting others to lift yourself. Try this. When anger tempts you, choose one small act of kindness. Smile at the grumpy cashier, help the colleague who's been cold, or send a kind text to someone who's upset you. Journal how it feels, not just for them, but for you. For a week, start each day with a vow. I'll find one chance to be kind, no matter what. Notice how resentment fades, replaced by joy. Kindness isn't about fixing others. It's about freeing your soul to soar. This practice also deepens your purpose. When you act with selflessness, you align with what Stoics call the common good, living for something bigger than yourself. I've found that small acts of kindness, holding a door, listening fully, ripple outward, making my days richer. In a world of sharp edges, be the one who softens them and watch your life glow. Your journey to unshakable peace. Here we stand, at the end of our journey. But it's really just the starting line. You've got 7 Stoic secrets in your hands, each a tool to build a life where no insult, no chaos, no betrayal can steal your peace. From dancing with life's rhythm to lighting the world with kindness, these aren't just tips. They're a way of being. They're your armor against the storms, your map through the noise, your key to a heart that stays steady no matter what. So what's your next step? The next time anger knocks, maybe a rude comment, a broken plan, or a careless slight, what will you choose? Will you let it in, or will you pause, breathe, and claim your calm? These secrets take practice, but every try strengthens you. Start small. Embrace one inconvenience, skip one judgment, try one moment of silence. Each choice is a brick in your fortress of serenity. Let me share a final story. A year ago, I was a stress magnet, reacting to every slight like it was a personal attack. Stoicism changed that. I started small, pausing before snapping, accepting delays, choosing kindness. One day, a stranger yelled at me in a parking lot over a spot. Old me would have argued. New me? I smiled, said, "Have a good day," and walked away. I didn't just avoid a fight, I felt free, like I'd won a quiet victory. That's the Stoic way. Not changing the world, but changing how you move through it. If this journey lit a spark, share it with someone who needs it. A friend, a family member, anyone craving calm in the chaos. Let's spread this wisdom, one steady heart at a time. And if you're hungry for more tools to master your mind and live with purpose, join our community at the Daily Stoic Life. Hit subscribe, and let's keep growing together. Thank you for walking this path with me. You're not just learning Stoicism, you're living it, one choice at a time. Here's to a life of strength, peace, and unshakable joy. I'll see you in the next adventure.